All right, what is good, everybody? Quancredible here with the review for Four Knights of the Apocalypse, Chapter 22. And this chapter is basically the wrap up of the Ironside stuff. And it's really interesting because, like, I didn't really expect it to take this kind of turn. But I guess, honestly, this was the only way things could turn out without the situation getting, like, way worse. So before I start, I do want to thank you guys a lot of the support on the Four Nights of Apocalypse stuff. So if you guys enjoy the videos and the content, make sure you guys are leaving a like as well as subscribing to the channel. But without further ado, into the chapter. And basically in the beginning, it was like taking a turn for what I was saying these past couple chapters does of even if they do break the reliefs or the coffin or stop the ritual, that nothing is stopping Ironside from now killing them and then just starting it over, which is literally what he was about to do. And he was getting ready to do some type of new move. Like, it looked like he was making his hand like maybe like a claw and was about to swipe or something. Maybe this is going to be more powerful than like his little cross section move that he has been doing so far. But it's looking like he was getting ready to do that, and then some random dude comes out and grabs his hand. This guy's name is apparently I'm gonna say it wrong. I already know. I have no faith in myself when it comes to these names. But his name is Mortlak. I think, I'm not for sure. Don't hold me to that one, but I think his name is Mortlak. I'm gonna just call him this other dude for now. But yeah, this other dude basically stops Ironside and says, like, regretfully so, like, your night is basically over, Ironside. Like, you're being called back. Or not necessarily being called back, but he basically just came to pick him up. And honestly, his reasoning makes sense, and it makes me think that there could be some stuff working for the future. Because basically, he's saying that, like, I know that you're frustrated with the ritual being ruined, and that you're duty bound not to let the Four Knights of Apocalypse escape. But the problem is the mysterious enemy who defeated the dead. And this is a big part of it. And then all the while in this like other slide off panel, he's like starting to pick up the pieces of the relief. Obviously all the other pieces, not the one that Donnie still has, that Donnie's clutching on to, still holding out to maybe Donnie gets the dragon handle sword, and not Percival, because maybe it'll make Donnie stronger, give him some type of crazy power. But if Percival gets it too, it would honestly make a lot of sense. Honestly, if Donnie gets it, it would be cool. If Percival got it, it would make a lot of sense with his hero type magic. And or if Anne got it, it'd be like whatever. Nanson's doesn't really need it. I mean, actually, if Nanson's got it, he could maybe actually all four of them with it might be pretty cool. But all the while, Mortlak is basically talking about how Ironside summoned greater level dead. I'm assuming this is like a new type of power level or a new type of level new to Four Knights of Apocalypse. And he's talking about how Ironside summoned a lot of them, and they were instantly wiped out, which is true because like the last chapter we seen, whatever Sin did instantly destroyed all of them. And he was saying that the only things or the only beings that should be capable of something like that would be the seven deadly sins or someone with as much fighting power as them. And if so, that would make them in danger and then they should leave. Meaning that, like, the first thing that immediately came to my mind with this is that Sin is either that Sin has some abilities on this level, which isn't really, too crazy considering how mysterious Sin is, and that also that the, Arthur's knights aren't that strong, or not. I don't want to say that. Arthur's knights are not close to the level of the seven deadly sins. Even one of them, if these two together wouldn't want to get into a fight with one of them, is what that sounds like. Because this guy's making it sound like if even one of the members of the seven deadly sins are here, we cannot fight them, so we have to run. Which would make sense, even just one. I mean, like, you could debate on who the weakest member of the seven deadly sins is in this moment. Like, some people would probably say it's Diane, or some people could say it's Gother. But even just one of them alone would be enough for these two. Then they're not, they're not anywhere close to like top of the averse if you're looking at like Arthur's knights. So they're looking a little weak. I do have some theories on how they could potentially get stronger in the future, but I can save that for a video in, like I said, in the future. So what that Ironside does, sheath his sword, and if you pay attention, that other guy literally did, like I was saying, pick up the rest of the pieces, aside from the one Donnie had, and then they just left. After that, Percival and his friends, they kind of just crumble down to the ground. They're all exhausted mentally and physically after the fight. Percival is like laughing, shaking and shrugging it off, saying like, I thought I was gonna die. Then Anson's like, you already did die. Donnie is kind of, Donnie's pretty happy because he's like, we faced someone who's way stronger than us and we held our own, which is true. But then, Anne steps in and is like, we literally could not do anything if it wasn't for Percival. We would all be dead, which is also true. Two things can be true at the same time. They are both correct. They did somewhat hold their own, but Annie's definitely more right here. She's definitely more right because if Percival wasn't there, it'd be, you know, they'd be dead. Not to mention Donnie did run away, which is what she mentioned. And Percival comes in at the end saying, all this worked out because we all worked together, which is very true. Had one person not done their job, they wouldn't have been able to get the relief, which is one of the things that I really liked about, their team fight against Ironside. And then this was a really smart moment from the author because Annie's father is up, so she runs over to him. And when she does that, Sin comes out, and then they're like, Sin, how did you do this? Like, how in the world did you like stop all of those dead monsters? And then Sin's like, oh, you guys really want to know? And it's like, oh, I use the animals of the forest. And it's just like, no, you didn't. There's no way that's exactly what happened. And I say it's a really dope moment or smart moment because the author makes Annie go somewhere else because she would, if she was there when Sin said this, she would know that he was lying and she'd probably say something about it since she typically says something to anybody when they're lying about something. So it was really smart to make her not be around Sin. I am curious to know, like, if she does join the main group, how the authors are going to handle her and Sin being together or just her around anyone, because the ability to tell if someone's lying or being dishonest is a very powerful ability from a like narrative standpoint, because you can't just necessarily have that character around everyone. So I am very curious to see how they're going to do that if she stays, which I really do hope she does after all this. Outside of that, Percival is curious to, like, what kind of monsters are there. Sin says that they're big and red. Honestly, the only thing that I can think of that's big and red in the world of Seven Deadly Sins are red demons, but I highly doubt Sin summoned a bunch of demons. I just don't think he did that. Also, I don't think the red demons, I don't know how strong the great, like, I don't know what level the greater level dead is in comparison to the red demons. So who knows, like, if the red demons are even strong enough, or if the greater level dead are strong enough to beat either one. Like, there's no real tell on which one is stronger. Like, I would assume that the red demons would be stronger, but it's real tough to say, honestly. Without seeing the greater level dead do anything except for one of them getting lifted up by Donnie, it's really tough to say. Percival does mention that his cape is back to normal. Nansen's is saying that this is probably a result of his magic. It's, again, we don't really know what the cape does all like that. Like, I mean, like I was saying, like, you could speculate that it maybe draws power from his friend's hope, or that could just be something from the hero type magic. It's tough to say. At bare minimum, we know that Percival has 3 magic items on him, being the sword, the helm, and the cloak. But just, we know what the sword does. It grows. At least we know one ability of it, but the other 2 we're not 100% sure. So hopefully we get some more light shed on that in the future. Percival being really carefree about it all. It remarks that he has to drop a loaf or lay a loaf. He has to take a poop, and he was holding it the whole battle, so he runs off and does that. And Donnie's like, man, he really doesn't think about anything, or there's nothing going on in his brain. But Nansen's can kind of tell that something is bogging him down, to which Percival is like, he is shaken up by the fact that Ironside looks just like his granddad, which was something I was kind of curious about if he was going to care. Since he didn't make any type of remarks or movements or anything in the last chapter, when he did get to see Ironside's face. And then after that, we do get to see off to this really dope castle. This castle is actually really dope. I'm a fan of like cool castles in stories. And it's basically, we get to see Arthur Pendragon. He's going over what happened, or I guess Ironside had just told him what happened, and Arthur tells him, next time you see the 4 Knights of Apocalypse, tell them if they think they can beat Arthur Pendragon, they're more than likely to try. We do also get to see a shot of Merlin here, so she is definitely still with Arthur. It's no secret about that, but I did think it was cool that she's wearing like a little like a cloak type deal over her mouth, so you can't really see the spoilers if you're still watching the Seven Deadly Sins anime. If you're not caught up on the ending of the anime, I don't know if you guys are or not, but she's still wearing the like cloak over her mouth from when she had kissed Escanor. So and then it left that horrible scar. So I think that was cool that they left that covered up. I don't know if they're going to go more into it, but it doesn't ruin the end of Seven Deadly Sins if you've never seen it, outside of me ruining it right now. Which I apologize if you did not click off. But then that's the chapter. So overall, it was a nice like climax ending chapter. Next chapter will probably be, them transitioning on to going somewhere else. Like hopefully now we can get to Leonis or Lioness or whatever you want to say, because we've already had 2 pit stops, and I kind of don't want a third. I kind of just want us to be there, or the next place we go to in the story to be us getting there, because it's kind of, we're talking about going there. Can we get there, please? Or even if we could get more stuff with Arthur and the Chaos Knights, I'd also be down to see that, if we could flash over them for a little bit. For now, honestly, the chapter was pretty dope. I enjoyed it. It did exactly what it was supposed to do. I'd probably give it like a 7. The only thing that was a little weird to me is is the other night, Mortlak. Did he sense that all these like greater level dead got killed and then he just popped up, or was he there the entire time? Because if he was there the entire time, then he really should have helped. And like if he sensed them all, it's like was he already on the way and just got there when they all died, or like it kind of just seemed really like oddly convenient, or did he like sense that they all died and just like poof popped up there immediately, just like teleported there? I guess that would probably make the most sense, honestly. Probably just one of those things that I'm thinking too much into. But yeah, let me know how you guys felt about the chapter down below. Let me know how you guys felt about seeing Arthur again for the first time in the series, actually getting to look at him and see him talk, and all that kind of good stuff. Also, it's very interesting about the power levels of the knights, or of Arthur knights, in comparison to the 7 deadly sins, since they were going to run even if it was just one of them. I did do a video on how strong is Percival compared to everyone else, where I go more into the strength. Honestly, in the video I talk more about how strong like Ironside or like a Pelgard or like those kind of knights are. Like there's lots of comparisons between like Percival, the current knights we have now, and the 7 deadly sins, as well as some of the old knights like Gilthunder and Hauser and things along those lines. So you should check that video out if you are curious to see more of my take on the power level structure in 4 Knights of Apocalypse. But aside from that, you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Make sure you guys like the video, so subscribe to the channel for more content. Like I said earlier, I do appreciate all you guys, so I'll catch you guys in my next video.